So I actually got back into dance after a 20 plus year hiatus.
So yeah, I mean, I came to this shoot a bit late. I was an hour and 15 minutes late.
All right, what's going on, ladies and gents? This is a growth session, jam session. I'm telling growth session because this is probably going to premiere on Grow Friday, which happens on my channel, Emeroy TV, every Friday. Hope you guys are enjoying the content that I've been sharing on the particular day. God damn it, Sultan. He's like, but so this is something new that I particularly like, and I'm always hanging out with friends, and we like even earlier we were filming, we were having a conversation that I feel like we could have been filming, and I think would have been a great piece of content. And I know the audio quality is not the best. We're at a Panda Express. If you're watching this on YouTube, we just finished filming for like 3 hours for Christmas promo that I have planned, and then some other dance content that we're going to be sharing on YouTube, and that we're going to be sharing on Sultan's channel, which is the One Dance channel. Make sure you check that out. I don't know if they're going to be sharing it on their channel, so everything we're going to be talking about is going to be in the link down in the description down below, whether it's iTunes, Anchor, or YouTube. So the format is I'm just going to shoot random questions. Whatever we bounce off of, like a regular conversation, but it's just, it just happens to be a camera and we have a mic in front of us. What did you think? Like, what was your expectation coming in today's shoot?
It was a really fun a dance experience because I don't really get to do stuff like that on a daily basis because I'm in school and I'm actually down to my last year. So once I'm done there, it's just whatever happens next, just happens next. So this was one of those like rare times where I got to, not focus on school or not focus on like other things for now, and then just have fun for a change.
So I'm in my element now because this is like this is podcasting, but video podcasting. So anyway, yeah. So if you want to listen to my podcast, it's called the Dancepreneuring Studio, where dance inspires life and business. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and Spotify. But anyway, so my homie here, of course, when he asked me to do the video, I was definitely down. But I didn't know what to expect because I knew it would be a lot of surprises and a lot of spontaneous moments, which I'm sure he'll talk about.
Spontaneous.
Hey, what's up, guys? So yeah, I mean, I came to this shoot a bit late. I was an hour and 15 minutes late, but I made up with it. I made up for it. So yeah. So we filmed a lot of videos today. A lot of concept videos. Everything's I just love making dynamic videos of dancers, and that like they're like in the environment and they use the environment, So that's what we did today, and it was really exciting. And I'm really tired, if you can't tell. So yeah.
All right, let's like rewind it back real quick because I'm not sure. Like, let's do like a quick origin story, a little bit about you, your history with dance, and then we'll pass it around. Let's start off with Annett.
So I actually got back into dance after a 20 plus year hiatus. Yes, over 2 decades. I got back into dance about 4, almost 5 years ago. And it's been an amazing journey. So I'm very excited. I've met some incredible people. A lot of it thanks to E here. And just our friendship and has been such a serendipity because I get to meet these cool people and do these cool things. And so, that's my dance journey so far. And it's still going on. And I'm so thankful for it.
Okay, so my little history with dancing is it started for me in high school when I joined my high school's dance crew, and I decided to just go on from there like on my own. And when I got into college, I auditioned for the dance department's like leading dance show, and I ended up being the closing act or part of the closing act my very first year, and now I'm at Long Beach City, and I do like dance videos. I also do like photo shoots and just random things here and there. I just love exploring, like even outside my room.
Hey guys, so I never danced the first 20 years of my life because it was shamed upon in my culture, and so I just it just wasn't accessible. But when I moved out and I moved to LA, the first thing I did was learn salsa dancing, and so now I'm 23 and I've been doing it for 3 years. and I love it. Like it's the best thing in the world. So, and now I'm actually learning more styles. Now that I moved to Studio City, it's close to the dance scene, and that's my origin story.
Origin story is like I started dancing when I was eight. So, started dancing when I was 8. Michael Jackson, heard him for the first time. That was that. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I just started moving. I didn't know like. My dad was napping. I remember him asleep, and I was like going crazy behind the couch, and then started doing that. Danced to VHS recordings of NSYNC, Usher, any of all those videos before YouTube. That's how you used to do it. You film it on something called a VCR or VHS tape, and then you studied it from there, and then quit dancing in 6th grade because some kids called me a faggot, and I stopped dancing for 4 years. Then, yeah, dancing back in like the younger day, like my day. I'm not that old, but still, dance is much more widely accepted now compared to when I was a kid. Like guys dancing back then, you're like gay, and it was because it wasn't a sport or a guy thing. But then my friends joined the dance team in 10th grade. In 11th grade, and I had no more friends to hang out with after school. So I was like, I'll join the dance team because all my friends are there. And then, even though I stopped dancing, I was still dancing at home, but not in front of like people. So when I auditioned, I blew all my friends away because like, when did you learn how to dance? I'm like in my head, I'm like I've always danced. I just fronted hating it. So it kind of helped. Rediscovering dance helped me like release a lot of this emotion and anger that I had because I became a skater boy for a while. Then, dance kind of has led me to a lot of places, going from like rediscovering my passion to helping me improve my self-confidence because I used to be angry at the world, hated everyone. But then like the sound of girls screaming when you are performing is the most addicting feeling as a high schooler, as a high school boy, trying to get confident in himself. Because like who wouldn't want that? Like especially for me, I was kind of like the idea of talking to girls was like I wasn't like a playboy or anything. I was like, but college changed everything. But that's another story. But
It's funny you bring that up because the sort of the same experience happened to me when, because when I joined dance, I was like I kind of had hesitations about it, but then when I was in that closing act for my college's dance show, there were literally like 4 different girls who came up to me and they were like, "Dude, you really stood out of everyone." So literally, I was like, you know what? I should probably do this more often.
it's such a weird thing. Like I'm glad it's like more socially accepted now, but it was such a like stigma for guys to dance. But the thing is, girls love guys that can dance. So I'm like, why escape it, But the funny thing is, like, I learned choreo, but I didn't exactly learn how to dance with a girl, so it was a completely different. I can't go up there and like start doing choreo in front of their faces. So, what do you call it? So, your first dance experience, like, what was your Did you learn choreo first? Did you learn street style first, or did you like learn stuff on TV? So mine, I just said I learned it from TV. So.
My first experience was going out into a salsa night in LA, and it's actually considered freestyle. So you go out and you just ask a girl to dance, and then you dance for like 5 minutes. And if you suck, you have to dance for all 5 minutes. So that was really hard in the beginning because I was literally just doing basics and right turns for all 5 minutes, and like she would be really like bored. But it became better and better, and Yeah, exactly. So it's all mostly freestyle, and now it's to the point where when I listen to a song, I can actually try to put some musicality into it, and try to get because there's a lot of breaks and there's a lot of beats in the salsa instruments as well, and so I try to time them, and if you do that, it's so satisfying. So that's.
Oh, okay. So my first dance experience, it wasn't the Cerritos College thing. It was in high school. It was a high school homecoming rally, and it was a combo of both choreography and freestyle. And when it came to the freestyle section, I think one of my buddies just pushed me in and just said, "Do something." And so I started. and literally I was yeah, and literally I was just like, okay, you know what? Let me do this thing that I learned, like this studying thing that I learned on TV. And when he was studying it, I just like, you know what? Let me just see if I can do the same thing. And people were just like, whoa.
My first dance experience was taking hula and Tahitian when I was 8 in the state of Texas, of all places. So it was choreographed.
So, do you guys have you guys ever thought of pursuing to try to go industry? I've had people on I jam with who want to go industry. Some people who just want to keep it as a hobby. So, because do you guys know the distinction between like the whole dance industry and everything? Like we're like working dancer, choreographing, going on tours. Do you guys, is that any of your aspirations, or is it like, you know, I don't want to mix hobby with business. So, if you guys want to take that.
It used to be my desire to be an industry dancer until I couldn't handle the auditions anymore, which is why I quit in the first place. So now dance for me is more of a business, personal development pursuit. And so I use it as a vehicle to fuel my podcast, my speaking, and everything else. So I found a way to make dance work for me that doesn't have to be industry.
For me, dance at first was like something I wanted to do, like as like a really like business thing. So like go on tours, being a backup dancer, all this other stuff. But you know, after I realized that there's gonna be times where where they're gonna say no, and they don't want me to do like this sort of like be a backup dancer for this kind of person. At the time, I wasn't ready to like accept no as an answer. So when I realized I would have to accept that, I decided, you know what, maybe I'll just take this as like a little hobby thing. And then since then, I've just been doing like acting and voice acting stuff. So
I've been trying to build this dance brand, and it's a very long path. And what I do know is that the goal is to have a foothold in the industry with it. And I don't know personally what I will be doing. Like for me, it would probably be maybe assisting or teaching some Latin dancing, because that's the thing that really stuck with me. But for me, it's that brand that I'm building. It's going to integrate in the industry in terms of choreographies, maybe opening up a studio, however it is, or the videos and the videography as well. So,
The content
yeah.
you produce is dope. And I just wanted to let you know that Sultan, earlier he said he wasn't comfortable talking in front of the camera, and lo and behold, he's fucking talking to a camera. He's right here. He's right here. He said he was gonna keep it minimal, but he is not. But I like he's sharing. So like now he's gonna shut down. The reasons why like, I love doing this is because everyone has such a different journey and different path with dance in general. So like one thing that random question that I want to ask you guys, like what's something you guys are currently like obsessed with? Like doesn't have. Yeah, I thought I loved that. Like I loved that question because it's so random. So like this is all like this is from Pod Sessions from Gary Vee. I love that question, so I'm biting it and then flipping it with something with dance related.
Something that I'm currently obsessed with, hybrid performance training in terms of obstacle course race workouts, like flipping tires and climbing ropes and learning about how to properly do deadlifts and stuff that yes. I don't know the weight. I just started, so.
Something that I'm obsessed with, and I said this a little earlier, because when I was introduced to like this opportunity to do voice acting, I've kind of been like doing it for my school's program ever since. So I'm kind of the go-to guy when they want like voices, and leading into it really quick, I did a project for my friend where I had to provide like this British voice, and he told me to think of like Penguin from the Batman Arkham games. And so let me see if I can remember one of my lines really quick. Oi, what do you mean at that little wanker head, eh? Hey, come on, I'm gonna take away all of your gazies. Yeah, I think that's just.
Yeah, overlay the penguin face on him. Oh, that's cool. I can't wait to see this now. What are you gonna do with mine? That's funny. What I'm currently obsessed with. So, I've been working on a contract lately. So what I do for my main work is like I make apps and stuff, and so I have been working on an app that lets you it lets you like order food from a restaurant like from your phone and pay. So like it pretty much defeats the purpose of a waiter. Like it takes their job away from them. Yeah, so there it is. And so while I was making the app, you know, there's certain things when you start writing software, there's a bunch of lines of code that you have to write. And there's usually thousands and thousands of lines of code and hundreds of files. And so it becomes hard to organize them. And so I've recently learned a methodology of organizing everything. It's called architecture patterns in software engineering. And the pattern is called MVP Clean. And it's from Google. And it's what they do with their Android projects. So I've just been doing that in my project. So I've just been like super into it and like trying to. So that's what I'm obsessed with.
I'm obsessed with this Netflix show called Explained. You know what I'm talking about? I'm pretty obsessed with it. You know how Vox has those things, those little episodes explaining like why it's pretty much a mini documentary. It's like 10 minutes. The first episode I just watched talked about the science of music and how humans, us, are the only animals that understand beat and rhythm, and like that comprehend like pitch, octaves, and it's true. Like,
You're saying my cat doesn't enjoy my music when we're jamming?
he's probably like looking at you, like they understand it, but there's some animals that can understand it. Yeah, so I think you got to get going soon. So like, what last question for everyone? So like, what's one piece of advice you would give to a beginner who is hesitant to start dancing, whether it's age, whether it's weight, whether it's race, whatever it is that's holding them back from starting? So yeah, that's the piece of advice for you guys. Because the common question I get all the time is, am I too old to dance? Am I too young to dance? Do I have to be flexible to dance? Do I have to be strong enough to dance? So
I would say just find a style that you're interested in and go for it. And try different teachers because you'll find someone that you like and resonate with. But the thing is, you got to take that first step and find a style first that you're interested in. Don't feel like you have to take something that your friend says to take or that it's popular to take. If you're interested in country line dancing, I'm not, but do country line dancing.
One piece of advice that I would give to like beginner dancers who are like really hesitant, don't be afraid like all the time, because at one point or another you're gonna have to step out of your comfort zone. You know, even with experienced dancers, they're gonna have to step out of there at some point or another. Like, yeah, you're always gonna have to step out of there at some point. Like with me, since I do like a lot of hip hop. When I was told I needed to do a bachata dance, I really got scared there. But then afterwards, I was like, okay, no, this is pretty good. So yeah, just step out of your comfort zone as much as you can.
I'd probably say that you just gotta work really hard and stay consistent. Very generic advice, but it works. So.
I've answered this for you guys. Okay, all right. My answer to all beginners is whatever it is. Okay, so set a clear goal long term. Like if you do want to do stuff like us, you want to dance as a hobby and do really cool shit, or do you want to be a backup dancer? Do you want to be like me? I do the hip hop dance theater, and then you figure out what's the lowest bar of entry to get you started. Because what people tend to do is that they see the big picture and then they freak out of how big it is. And then what they fail to do is that it's okay to start with a low goal first, get yourself the momentum to get going. Take a hip-hop class first. All right, that's too much for you. You're a homebody. Take a hip-hop class via YouTube. What matters is that you start. And it doesn't have to be something grand. It's something small, because that small step is, it's one step more than someone else who's just sitting on the couch talking shit on their phone.
Oh, no.
I thought you were gonna. So that's all I gotta say about that. So that's it for this quick jam session. Appreciate Annett, Emani, and Sultan, and me, of course, for hopping on the show. Thanks for watching. If you guys liked it, make sure to hit like, subscribe, share this with friends who you think might benefit from it, and hit the bell button so you guys are getting new content every week. That's a random script that I always run for all my and you'll find all their Instagram stuff in the links down below. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick session, and this is going to be content on content on content on content on content. And then yes, and then cuts. Love you guys. Peace.